Okay, now we're going to continue solving compound inequalities, but this time we're going to solve sandwich compound inequalities. So, just like when we solve an equation, when I solve a compound inequality, whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other side. And I also want to make sure I bring the sign down, just like we usually do. So in this example, I have -5 is less than or equal to x minus 4, which is less than or equal to 3. So I need to get x by itself in the middle. So to get x by itself in the middle, the first thing I want to do is add 4, so that way these subtract. But now that I add 4, I must also add 4 to this side and to this side. So with sandwich inequalities, we want to make sure we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing in every single spot. In this case, we're adding. So now my 4's will subtract, and I'll be left with just my x in my middle, which is what I want. Now I'm going to do -5 plus 4, which will be -1. I'll have 3 plus 4, which is 7. So now I have my inequality. But this inequality could also be written with an and. So it says here, the solutions are all real numbers greater than or equal to, well, if I rewrite this side, I'll have x is greater than or equal to, which is what it says right here, greater than or equal to, -1. So I'll put my -1 right here. Then it says, and less than or equal to, x is less than or equal to 7. So I could rewrite this inequality as x is greater than or equal to -1 and x is less than or equal to 7. So now I need to graph this inequality. So I'm going to put my 0 in the middle, and I'm going to put my -1 to the left and my 7 to the right. Now, I'm going to put a closed circle on -1 and draw an arrow going to the right because x is greater than or equal to -1. So we're going to the right. Then if I grab this side, x is less than or equal to 7. So I'll put a closed circle on 7 and draw my arrow to the left. Well, now my arrows are facing each other, so I know to shade in the middle. Finally, it asks me, circle the values that are in the solution set. So, these lines, if we remember, mean absolute value. So, but this is going to equal -3.6, which -3.6 is out here. So that's not in my solution set. -1, well, I have a closed circle on -1, so that is included. 4 would be somewhere in here. So, yep. 2 pi. Well, if I type 2 pi in my calculator, that's about 2 times 3.14. So that's 6.28. 6.28 will be right about there, which means, yep, this is in my solution set. 22 over 6, or sorry, excuse me, 22 over 3. Is that in our solution set? If I do 22 divided by 3, I'll get about 7.33. That's outside of our solution set, so no. Square root of 64. Is that in our solution set? Square root of 64 is equal to 8. 8 is not in our solution set. What about 3 squared? That's equal to 9. 9 is not in our solution set, so no. So the only 3 numbers are -1, 4, and 2 pi. Now we're going to go on the back page, so please play video 3.